dzisiejszym świecie zarobienie pierwszego miliona jest łatwiejsze niż kiedykolwiek w historii. To dlaczego tak wielu ludzi jest spłukanych? Dlaczego 1% ludzi...
Felt like a lot was getting to me with a lot of pressure. Felt like things were just kind of hard and tough, and I wanted to just quit, to be honest. I felt like I'd lost a lot of faith in myself, and it was getting really hard to just push through. And I didn't quit. Obviously, we're here today, but this morning after prejudging, I had that same cry in the bathroom, but this one was a cry of gratitude and pride that I had pushed through and gotten through that. And it's these moments, it's this journey, and like I felt this before having the trophy around my neck. It's the journey, it's the experience, it's knowing that you pushed past times where you wanted to quit. So to everyone out there whose dreams are scaring you, whose dreams make you want to quit, just don't quit. It's good. Your dreams should be big, they should be scary. Just keep pushing through. I have this thing I say, champion mentality. It's not about winning, it's not about a trophy, it's about having no quit. It's about giving everything you have so that when you show up on game day, before the results are over, you're proud of yourself and you know the work you put in.
We all have these moments in time that either make you or break you, that can determine the rest of your life. The rest of your life can be determined by one simple decision. And I had a decision to make. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. There wasn't some inspirational quote. There wasn't nothing. It was me, myself, and it was freezing out here. I had to make a decision. The decision I made was to get up and keep on going. That one moment changed the rest of my life.
If you haven't gotten what you want, then you're not worthy of it, period. And that's okay. Now you can admit that you suck and improve. Better to know you're bad for a season than pretend you're good for a lifetime. You're not making as much money as you want because you're not as good as you think you are. You're not struggling from imposter syndrome. You're a student and pretending to be a teacher. No students say they feel like frauds trying to learn. You're a fraud when you get up to teach the class, and you've never done it.
We're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired. My high school English teacher, Mr. Fisk, he had this beautiful quote, and it read, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now. Have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never ever rest in the middle.
You're willing to shoulder more than your responsibility of life because you expect and demand something more of life. Champion's mentality, man. Hoping for a good result. You're demanding a motherfucking result. You're going above and beyond what's expected in the gym, what normal people do. You do more than what's normal because you want more than a normal return of life's investment.
My personal goal is to squeeze every ounce of potential out of whatever I have. And I think that if you feel like you have potential left over, then it will eat you alive until you do something about it.
Here's the fact. All of you have extraordinary capabilities. All of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category.
Look, as best we know it, we have one life. In it, you have to trust your own voice, your own ideas, your honesty, your vulnerability, and through this you will find your way. You do not have to be fearless. Just don't let fear stop you. Live like this as best you can, and I guarantee you will look back on a life well lived. You are capable of greatness in your profession, and more importantly, in your quality of self. Stay hungry. Stay young at heart. Take those risks. You are going to change the world around you in big ways and in small. And I greatly look forward to being a part of the future that you will shape. And good luck.
You're crazy until you're successful, then you're a genius. And I think for a lot of people, when you're grinding as a small channel, people think you're too obsessed. You're a weirdo. Stop only making videos. Like, get a life. Be realistic. People will convince you you're out of your mind for wanting to do this. But then once you're successful, they're like, yo, your drive, your tenacity was great. But it's like, yeah, well, where was that back then? You know what I mean? I didn't get that when I was a small channel.
I have failed far more times than I've succeeded. Far more. You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher. It's the only way to learn. You have to fail. Failure is a part of the process to becoming successful. So when you fail, it's a part of the process. Keep going. You're supposed to fail. Who you know that gets it right all the time? That's impossible. You have to fail. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer.
And the decisions we make on the moment-to-moment basis, champions are never born into success. They're created, they're mature, they'll struggle, then weather through that effort, hard work, and dedication and sacrifice to achieve that championship status. It's these moments, these decisions we make on a daily basis. Do we get up early and go for a run? Do we hit the snooze button? Do we go that extra rep in the gym and our body's dying? Do we push past that? All these little things are the inches that add up to be the measure of difference between first place and forever forgotten.
I see too many kids get so discouraged because they're expecting to make this quantum leap, and when that quantum leap doesn't come, it feels like it'll never come, right? But that's not how it works. It's step by step. One foot in front of the other, day by day, get better every single day. And then when you look back, then you look down and you realize the mountain that you just scaled, right? But you can't jump from the bottom of Everest and get to the top of Everest like that. It doesn't happen. Superman is only in comics.
The Mamba mentality simply means trying to be the best version of yourself. That's what the mentality means. It means every day, you're trying to become better. You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can.
If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest mother ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
That's the truth.
It takes every second of your life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you can do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood to the point where people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning? You just got through doing an op for 13, 14 hours after Ranger School, man, at the gym. What's wrong? You will never understand what is wrong with me.
You have to lose your fear of failure. Failure is a part of the process. People who never fail, never try. You have to fail. You got to get it wrong to get it right. You learn nothing from winning. You only learn from your failures.
It's only delusional until it works.
Masz pracowników, a i tak ciągle musisz wykonywać za nich robotę? Mieli ci pomóc, mieli cię odciążyć, mieli sprawić, że będzie ci łatwiej, że nie będziesz w końcu musiał tylu rzeczy robić sam. A jak jest? Może nawet gorzej niż przedtem, zanim firma urosła i zanim kogokolwiek zatrudniłeś. Pomyśl, twoi pracownicy przychodzą do pracy zrelaksowani, bo w sumie niewiele mają na głowie. A ty? Ty w nocy nie śpisz, bo te wszystkie problemy to za dużo jak na jedną osobę. Twoi ludzie wychodzą do domu o 16.
So is it really delusional? And then once the world see it, there's nothing delusional about it. Now your delusion becomes, oh, he was a f***ing genius. We didn't see it when he saw it. We didn't understand it when he did. We thought this mother was crazy.
I just wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad.
Young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster. Because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster. And then you should learn how to control it.
With the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be.
I tell you, the harder and harder you work in here, the harder and harder it becomes to accept failure out there. Second place isn't an option anymore, guys. The more you give in here, the more you get out there. Why would you not want to give it at all? What else are you gonna do? You come here and kill it right now? Or stay home on the couch? Watching the life pass by. I know it sounds like habitual what I say all the time, but sometimes you got it ingrained in your head. What else would you be doing right now? Taking the time off? Or taking the time to get ahead? If it doesn't seem so easy to you, it's because you don't believe in yourself. You believe in yourself, you want to be in here killing it. Because giving you that much more of a chance because you believe you can come that. The people that don't come in here because they're tired of stuff are people that don't believe in themselves. That's why they don't see the asset of being in the gym to grow. They see it as a waste of time because they don't believe they can ever get there. So therefore, why take the precautionary steps to sharpen and hone the arsenal to really go to battle? Because they don't even want to go to battle because they know they're going to lose. Every single morning, do you want a positive reinforcement or do you want a negative one to go about your day? How do you want people to see you?
As a competitor, if you're trying to do something meaningful, if you don't have the mindset that you're the best ever, you've failed already. And that's been my mindset since I can remember. That will be my mindset as long as I can remember anything, that I am the best ever at what I do. And every day that I step on the basketball floor, I will strive to be that. But my mindset will always be as such, as I am the best to do what I do. And that'll give me a shot at being the best. But before you can ever reach anything, you have to believe it. You don't just mistakenly become great at something.
You gotta play with your heart, with every ounce of fiber in your body. There's no room for second place. There's only one place, and that's first place.
All that stuff is the mindset of a champion. Thinking before acting. You have purpose for every action. Therefore, every action has a result.
You have to feed all of these things. You have to feed the love, you have to feed the competition, you have to feed the discipline. And that, to me, is the only way to stay balanced.
It's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better. And it starts off with you have to have pride in yourself.
Accept the challenge. And as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they're doing in the summer, they're never going to catch up.
And you guys never really made it easy on yourselves in terms, but is that what goes along with trying to win the first one?
That's what defines the champion. I'd much rather have this game be the way it was, us having to come back and fight from a deficit as opposed to just blowing it out. Because then we have to test our championship skills and our determination.
Champions aren't found on the podium with their hand up. No, champions are found in lab studies. The thousands of hours of hard work when no one's watching. That's what makes the will unstoppable. When you're in here and no one else is.
Winning was fun. Beating someone's even better.
Why is that?
I don't know. I've always had that.
Do you believe you'll get 18 majors?
To be honest with you, no.
You don't?
No.
You've accepted that?
I've accepted I'm going to get more.
Why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? There's really no point. And I would explain to my dad, second sucks, and third's even worse. I want to win. That's just my nature.
My all-time Mount Rushmore of golf. Probably Snead, Jones, Nicklaus, me.
The mindset's simple. Every tournament I enter to get that W. That's it. Period.
Nothing's ever going to be given to you. Everything's going to be earned. If you don't go out there and put in the work, you don't go out and put in the effort, one, you're not going to get the results. But two, and more importantly, you don't deserve it. You didn't earn it.
To be a winner, you want to be disciplined. You want to know what you're doing, and then you want to be on the edge where your skills are being developed. And if you're going to be on the edge where your skills are going to be developed, you're at a place where losing is always a possibility. Because otherwise you're not pushing yourself beyond your current capacity. The definition of a winner is someone who never let losing stop them.
He said, I failed over and over again I failed. And that's why I succeeded.
I always think there's two types of players who love to win and players who hate to lose. Which one are you?
I'm neither. I play to learn something, right? Because I think if you play with a fear of failure, or you play with the will to win, or that supersedes the fear of failure, I think it's a weakness either way.
A lot of people in general are afraid of failure. How did you become one of those people who doesn't seem to be afraid of failing?
It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. Try to use those as a source of strength. At first, I think it's getting over the stigma of it being something that is embarrassing or a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of weakness. I think that's step one.
When he loses to a better fighter, that's not a big tragedy. Big tragedy in fighting is when a person loses to himself.
I can't win them all. I'm human. I'm just like y'all, man. I'm just like you. You might be a little better than me, but you human. You just like me, right? You just like me. You ain't no different. You just like me. You bleed just like I bleed. You cry just like I cry. You hurt just like I hurt. I ain't no different than you.
It starts with an undying will, belief that the journey you're about to embark on is a winnable course of action, and that you can do it better than anyone's done it before. That belief is so ingrained in the will of the individual that creates the driving force of physical strength to turn into a maturity of something. If your day doesn't challenge you, don't ever expect to be changed by it.
You can try to put your feet in my shoes, they won't never fit. Because you can't go through what I go through in my life. But just try. Just try to stick your foot in my shoes. Just for one, it ain't even gotta be a damn day. Just for 1 minute. Just for 1 minute. Stick your foot in my shoes and try to deal with what I go through in my life.
Why not just commit one time in your life to something? See what happens. There are no losers in the world of passion and commitment to something. No one loses there.
Whatever it takes to win the game, you got to do whatever it takes. I mean, that's my job. Sometimes shots not going to fall.
How bad do you want it? Are you already seeing yourself stronger from it before you enter it?
This is what happens. This is on the other side of overcoming. You become very, very powerful when you overcome yourself. All those things you once cowered from, you were afraid of, and you face them eye to eye every day.
Is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. There's something wrong with winning unfairly. All of those things are bad. But you don't want people to win? What's the difference between trying to win and striving?
Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be?
Going to work every single day when no one's watching. Paying your dues every single day. There's only so much time in the day. And we can't let it pass by.
You have the chance to change your life, your family's life. You could be something very special. Don't you want to be champion? You could be champion of the world. And I didn't pay no attention to it. He said, really? You could be champion of the world. You could devastate the world. No man can take what you do. You just gotta believe it.
Your lack of commitment is almost an insult to the people who believe in you.
Two forms of pain. Pain that breaks you and the pain that changes you. That's the pain of a change right there. That's the pain of progress. The pain that destroys you isn't this. It's later in life knowing you could have been more. And all that's left is you and the mirror and tears of a possibility left that you allowed to die. Own your life, guys. You had every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest motherfucking worker in the room.
Sometimes you just gotta say things just what they are. Just what they are. Passion is free.
Żabka to nie jest zabawa w sklep. Ponieważ świadomość jest bardzo istotna. Ten model biznesowy uważam.
Nobody can charge you for passion. Nobody can tell you what passion looks like. Because that's all about you. Effort is isolated. The reason why effort is isolated, because nobody can dictate. Effort is 100% in the mind. No coach, no player, nobody else can make you run to the ball. Nobody else can make you finish a tackle. Nobody else can do it. That's why it's the most isolated things in this earth right now, is effort. And when you finally figure it out, how to win real battles, it's found through fundamentals. That's what wins championships. That's what wins battles. Blocking, tackling, until they get tired. Because you don't know what tired feels like. That's the only reason we do this.
If you guys believe you can do this, you can eat Twinkies and become the man. I know there's no scientific evidence for that, guys. But I swear to you, obviously eating right, resting, having good cardio and everything else, all these things add up to equal weights, and they're all very important. But none of them mean anything without the mental fucking state that today I'm no longer being a fucking loser. There's nothing worse in life than not being challenged, not having that anxiety, that fear factor. If I lose, what if I don't? That moment is life. That's what's so great about it. Average is a weak mentality. We must believe it so much so that we're arrogant about it. We must be pissed off for excellence.
Who am I? I am a champion. That's right. You need to remember that all through this game.
It hasn't been easy. It's a dog fight. It hasn't been, the road hasn't been successful. Like, it's just a paved road, and like E.T. go this way. It's been rough. It's been crooked. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life, and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dog fight.
You have to be the champion before you become the champion, so that means lifestyle. You have to be him before you become him. You gotta be him before you become him.
And so if you're ready to quit, then don't get started. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no a million times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm one yes away. I'm young, I'm one yes away. You can't keep telling me no forever. You can't keep denying me forever. This type of energy, this type of passion, you can't stop it. You can contain it for a while, but you cannot stop. This is life. And you can't defeat me. There is not. You don't have enough power. You don't have enough energy. You don't have enough strength to stop this.
Life begins now. If it doesn't begin now, your life is over.
If they can do it, I can do it. And that's the mentality. If somebody else can do it, you can do it. And I said to myself, I will do it, and I will do it better. I try to, when I do something, want to be the best. I will not be happy being the second, third, or the fourth. My inspiration is that above everybody else. That's in everything I do, in my project like this, in my football. And another thing, what everybody else says is not important. So if they tell you you're best, it's not important. The important is that you say you're the best.
If you don't believe in yourself, who can you ever expect to? You guys must be the now of what you want to be later. It starts right now. And if you're not doing the now, don't ever expect the later to be the person you want to look in the mirror. Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different. Belief, when you turn around, you're gonna see something that put a smile on your face. It's gonna make you turn around the next day for action. Turning belief into productivity. Otherwise, why are you in here, man? You in here to grow what? What the fuck are you in here for? Think, guys. Think of where you want to be before you start where it is now. It's too hard, man. The journey's too fucking hard. You guys start trying to follow someone else's path to success. You guys are dazed and confused. You must travel your individual path to success. Someone else's path's already been done. It's time for you to incorporate what you believe in. Make your own fucking path.
Y'all just don't want it bad enough. I became obsessed with being the baddest that got everything. Am I that? I don't care. I believe it. And I was trying to tell him, once you become obsessed with something, obsessed, it's okay to be unbalanced for a while. It's okay. Don't be all this stuff people say. You gotta be balanced. To be the best in the world at what you do. It's not about being a Navy SEAL, people.
The best at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great.
How much harder will you work in this offseason now to get back to the championship?
I'll push myself to exhaustion.
I became the most obsessed person on the planet Earth. And I was basically, I had to invent a guy that didn't exist. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, be called whatever the in the world, and be able to stand in the room and say, go yourself. I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering. I built it through downright and just crushing myself. If it was raining outside 3 o'clock in the morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct was don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta go out there. Anything that was horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was inhumane to most people, I had to go do it.
It's easy to give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going. I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah,
it's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
Maybe I should just quit and go back to making noodles.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. It's a shame. Yesterday, history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today, that is why it is called present.
We are so worried about what other people think about us. You know, it's like, oh my God, what if they think I'm crazy? What if they think I'm over obsessive or competitive? And what if this is like, you're too much. This is just not healthy for you to be thinking this way, right? Yeah. How did you get your mindset into this alter ego to be comfortable being Black Mamba? Like, how did that happen?
It's a good separation for me, you know.
Oh my God.
To be able to put myself in a place where
Jestem tutaj, aby poczuć tą dzikość. Się dobrze czujesz, Karolaj? Nie rozumiem, czemu jestem winna tej sytuacji. Nagle wszyscy mnie nienawidzą.
To jest jakaś dziecinada. Bo mnie to zaczyna wkurwiać, naprawdę. Nie.
O kurde. Boże. Warunki nie są dolarsowe.
Jest oczywiście krew po tym, ale po co tu przyjechaliśmy?
Jak my przeżyjemy tutaj?
Jeśli myślimy o poście przerywanym, nie ma w tym nic magicznego. Kalorie się liczą tak samo, nad tym jedzeniem tak samo trzeba zapanować.
To jest chyba najczęstsze na początku, jak ktoś chce zacząć właśnie, kiedy sobie ten czas wycinać.
W tym momencie ten IF mógłby być strategią. Na przykład post, gdzie jest cały dzień głodówki, no to dla takiej osoby jest w zasadzie wykluczony.
Niestety właśnie różowe okulary opadły, tak nie jest.
Ten proces jest niewątpliwie niezbędnym do funkcjonowania naszego organizmu. Bez odpalania wrotek te osoby nie będą w stanie przejeść tego przez ten następny dzień.
Pomelo Health Podcast to cykl spotkań z ekspertami z różnych dziedzin. Rozmawiamy na temat zdrowego stylu życia. Inspirujemy i edukujemy w tematach związanych z dietą, z treningiem, ze zdrowiem fizycznym i psychicznym. Misją tego podcastu jest promowanie holistycznego podejścia do strategii well-being. Chcemy przekazać Ci jak najwięcej porad, które możesz wdrożyć w swoje życie od zaraz, albo skłonić Cię do przemyśleń. Zasubskrybuj nasz kanał już dziś i nie przegap kolejnego odcinka podcastu. Sponsorem podcastu jest Pomelo, czyli mistrz w dziedzinie pysznego i zdrowego jedzenia. Już nigdy więcej nie trać czasu na gotowanie i zapomnij o nudnych kanapkach na lunch. Wybieraj spośród 20 niesamowitych posiłków każdego dnia. Dzień dobry, cześć wszystkim. Z tej strony Emilia Łosiewicz, a to jest kolejny odcinek Pomelo Health Podcast. Dzisiaj moim gościem już w kolejnej rozmowie będzie dietetyk Damian Park, z wykształcenia dietetyk, który jest współautorem rozdziału dietetyckich oraz publikacji naukowych w zakresie
Damian jest również autorem bloga damianparol.com oraz platformy szkoleniowej, którą znajdziecie w internecie pod adresem warsztatnauki.pl, a po godzinach Damian trenuje swój siłowy. Cześć Damian, miło mi się gościć kolejny raz.
Cześć, jeszcze raz.
Słuchajcie, dzisiaj taki temat bierzemy na tapet i myślę, że dość już ugrany. Intermittent fasting, czyli w polskim tłumaczeniu tak zwany post przerywany. Można w internecie właśnie wyczytać między innymi, że dieta IF ma wpływ na prawidłową pracę naszego metabolizmu, jednocześnie przyspiesza proces spalania tkanki tłuszczowej, czy przyczynia się do redukcji masy ciała. Oprócz tego pomaga w zwalczaniu insulinooporności, wpływa na obniżenie poziomu insuliny w naszym organizmie i mogłabym tak jeszcze wymieniać bardzo, bardzo długo. Brzmi to bardzo skutecznie i bardzo zachęcająco.
At practice, when I'm training and during games, I switch my mind to something else. I switch my mode into something else. It's go time. Right? So that was my mental switch. It was like an actor getting ready for a film. You gotta put yourself in that cage. When you're in that cage, you are that character. And then when you leave there, it's something completely different. But when I'm in that cage, bro, don't fucking touch me. Don't talk to me.
If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you can do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood when people think you're psycho, you're nuts, you're this and that. Why are you in the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning? You just got to doing an op for 13, 14 hours at the Ranger School, man, at the gym. What's wrong? You will never understand what is wrong with me.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it bad and then you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you're going to have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because if you go to sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful. That's how bad you got to